Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next guest on Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. Big change happened in your life. You, as I was going to say, in a religious way, you found yoga. You found yoga. What was your first introduction to yoga? How did you start just doing it routinely, and then how did it build to where you have it now, where it is a large part of your life?
And we're back.
Cool. So I actually started practicing yoga at age 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very
and that's
cool.
What's so cool about the work that I do now is I started as a freshman. And really the intent of practicing yoga, like, it was before yoga was known or cool. It was like 2006, 2005.
Yeah, like LA and New York, there were yogas.
Yeah, but it was like a vibe, but like not
Yeah.
many people. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't really a thing.
You were obviously a dirty hippie if you were doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
And
Who
so
needs to
I had
rely
like an
on chakras?
undercover relationship with yoga, actually, because I would go party with my friends like as a teenager.
Yeah.
But at home I was actually doing yoga.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. So I was gifted for my 14th birthday a yoga mat with intention to like lose weight and become more healthy and less stress, less anxiety.
That's a lot to put on a 14-year-old.
But it was a blessing because I'm rooted in trauma, as we all are.
Yeah.
Fucked up childhoods, right?
Sure.
Like our entire foundation. So for me, it really was a blessing, because I was in a really dark space as a teenager.
Were you kind of gothic? Were you a little on the goth
Yeah,
side?
it was definitely gothic.
Was it seen at that point? Or
I don't know. I was like My
gothic?
Chemical Romance,
Yeah.
like crying in the closet.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Hawthorne Heights, Ohio.
Oh,
For lovers.
yes, Ohio is for lovers.
Yeah.
Nikki FM, bro?
Yeah.
What? You Nikki FMing?
Yeah.
Somebody showed me some new rap, or like Juice World or something. Power was showing me this.
All right.
He's like, yo, what do you think? I pause the video, I turn around, I'm like, this is the same shit as Hawthorne Heights was when I was a teenager, dude. And
Yeah.
Like, this is not cool.
It was
man.
really good stuff to sit around and just like wallow in self-pity.
Yeah,
too.
that's exactly my
Oh my
whole.
God.
That was the
Yeah.
whole thing until
Yeah.
and then I started practicing yoga. But yeah, I just started to feel really good, and then so I would just do it here and there, and then it wasn't until I was like 21 where I like actually had my first like real yoga experience.
Okay.
Because prior for those 6 years, I was just like doing like a DVD.
Okay.
Or YouTube, like meditation was coming out, but I had the opportunity to go to Kripalu, which is it's kind of like the Harvard of yoga. It's in the Berkshires of Massachusetts.
Ooh, Berkshire's a nice area.
Yeah,
That
it
is-
was a VIP. So actually, that was like my 21st birthday gift.
Very cool.
Was going there.
And is that like a full, like, what's the program like going there?
Yeah, so it's a whole retreat center. So they have ongoing programs. I had the opportunity to go for like an R&R, which is like you just like can take yoga classes, you can just like eat, you can just like go to the spa. But yeah, and then I was gifted some books by Ram Dass.
Hell yeah, Ram Dass, yeah.
Yeah, but like again, like back like 2011,
I lived in
it
the woods
wasn't.
with hippies. I know Ram
Yeah,
Dass.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just
I don't know where I'm. I
Ram
live
Dass?
with the
Oh,
rednecks.
I'm gonna have to
I
introduce
didn't
you
know
to
the
Ram Dass.
Dass.
yeah, he's
He's
just
a-
like a spiritual guru who
Yeah.
started like really with like back through Harvard, like studying LSD.
Oh,
And then like shifted
You
the
would love
entire
it.
culture of
Yeah.
of what spirituality
Yeah.
means. So I mean, I had the opportunity to do that. So yeah, that was really transformative. But this was happening while I was working at Garfield's.
Very cool.
So I
Yeah,
was like
did not
battling
know.
two worlds, or
Yeah.
like living two lives.
I mean, you were definitely the Phoebe of the workforce at that point, like to put it in a crude
Wow.
way. Well, no, because again,
to put
the
it-
girl couldn't remember an apron
Yeah.
because she was just so at
I
peace
was
with herself
so
that she didn't
bliss-
need to.
And then I just like remember being and like I would just go and I remember like my breaking point. I remember like when I quit Garfield's because the movie theater had just opened and like I
Yeah.
served these teens and they like tipped me like or they shorted me like 25 cents. And I was like, actually fuck this. Like
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
done. Like
Yeah.
what am I doing and why am I doing it for
Not
so
fucking
long?
worth it.
Yeah,
Nope.
no, it was not. And yeah, so then I left and then I got a better serving job and then that started paying like big money and I was like, okay, this is nice. But yeah, so then I started so fast forward a little bit more time. opportunity to work in New York City, follow like a pursuit of fashion, still have my yoga practice. But I felt really, isolated. I didn't feel like I was connecting, and I was like, this doesn't feel like something that I'm meant to do. So I would jog like 30 blocks to kind of just like release all this tension, because I started at this restaurant with like the really like toxic kind of people who like basically would like shit on you.
Restaurant life,
literally
shit on you, but not the fun kind of
they're
shit
not
on you.
They're not inviting you over to shit on you. They're just shitting on you.
So I was like in Rockefeller Center. It was like 5 p.m. and there was literally millions of people coming at me, and I just paused and I looked all around, and like a light bulb went off and was like, you have to teach these people yoga. And I never thought about like teaching yoga before that, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'm moving back to the Poconos and pursuing it. So I ended up going to Grapalo for teacher training, all on scholarship. And then I became a yoga teacher, and then we didn't really have yoga happening in the Poconos, so I kind of just like put like a hustle mode on, and very quickly I connected with the Danbury Community Center. I was with Yoga House Stroudsburg. I was with some gyms. And then I had an opportunity to teach children, which terrified me.
That is a
children
scary
are
thought.
Terrifying creatures.
And I was never around a child, really.
Yeah. Are you an only child? Do you have any siblings?
I'm the baby. I'm
you're
the
baby,
older sister.
so you never had to deal with somebody younger than you, other than in school in that situation. Yeah, I remember when I was going to Northampton for that one semester, I did I was going to be a teacher, that I had to do an in-class study for I was like shadowing a math class. And I sat in the classroom, and I'm like watching the teacher who I had in like 6th grade or 7th grade deal with all these kids, and I was like, oh, they're terrible.
They're terrifying.
Like, they're like, I don't. And then immediately I was like, yeah, this is a waste of money. I'm not going to pursue this. This is bad.
Yeah.
So you got into teaching kids. What was your first experience with yoga?
The kids were ages like 4 and 5.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is, the specific, a lot of the work I do is that young. I was at a daycare in Marshalls Creek, and I was so scared. I was more terrified to do that than like teach adults, and I was like, fuck, like, I don't know, when are they going to receive it? But they received it so well, and, they lit up, and I felt really good. And to like just see children meditating, and then that they were actually listening and being very well behaved for me, more so than their teacher, and I was like, this is nice. And so I started following suit, and then I had an opportunity. I reached out to the superintendent at Chipperfield. It just started like kind of a domino effect, and I was like, actually, like, this is a niche that we need to, like, that there could be a successful market and opportunity to really share. So, that was about 4 years ago. And as of now, I created an organization called Shanti Students. I'm partnered with 24 schools in the Poconos.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I go in, I work, and I train.
And is this just you? Is this you? You are your solo operation. You've built it all yourself. You've gotten it to where it is now. And what has been the reception from a lot of the teachers in the schools? And have you heard anybody saying, I mean, obviously people are going to be negative, but have you had any really good positive feedback from either teachers about students or teachers about themselves?
Real quick before you answer that,
yes.
Rich has a statement saying meditation should be taught to kids for real.
And it is. I work with about 250 kids a week. Damn. Today I taught 45 kids, ages 2 through 5.
That all one room, all one big shot, like in the gymnasium, everybody set up. And like they all have yoga mats and everything like that, or do you just do it on like the mats, like the gym mats?
Yeah, it's different everywhere I go, which is what I love. I don't like consistency, so I want to like kind of be thrown in it. Yeah. But it's always a little different, and so going off of what you had asked about the positive.
The positive feedback. Yeah.
Completely positive. I've actually had 0 to like maybe 1 negative. Besides that, I've had green light.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so it's been
like you going to an organization or a school and they're like, no.
Yeah, I've actually had none. I have never been shut down. The thing that was like the most tricky is finding funding. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, we have community sponsors. We're really pulling in, and a good amount of the stuff I've done is volunteer. Really just moving through like the intention of holding that space, and then the universe kind of gifts me in other ways with abundance. So. Yeah, so I've worked already now with about 4,000 students, and some of them, 4 years. So I started at age 2, now they're 6. So they've had working with me every week.
A 2-year-old. Oh my! I got nieces and nephews, and Oh my! Getting a 2-year-old to just sit, you can't do that.
For
like
30 minutes, they'll sit for me.
That's so crazy.
I know. They call me the Pied Piper, which is I'm like, I'll take it, but
Good and bad.
I'll take it wherever. I'm stealing these children.
Yeah.
Come to my yoga world.
Yeah. Aw, no.
Yeah, it's such a great life.
You're like,
you couldn't have been the child whisperer. You had to be the Pied Piper. Oh, that's
you're
not
gonna
good.
be like a supervillain eventually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Eventually, your hair's gonna go all black. You're gonna have one white strip in.
Yeah, you have an army of child soldiers that you've taught to meditate since they were 2.
That are all just concentrated on your evil goal. Yeah.
I'm just sharing love.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's such an evil goal. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. So you're saying a lot of positive reception.
Yeah.
Have you had any kids that were a challenge that it took one of those I got to reach this kid that you really had to struggle to get to, or have most of them been receptive to it?
Well, so I really think it starts with how I approach it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go in with kind of resistance or especially of course there's gonna be some kids that are looking at their phone or rolling their eyes. So I think if I react, then it manifests that then it just creates this difficult energy.
Yeah.
But if I'm just all right guys, and then I kind of preach I'm here to share this with you, this wisdom, and you can take it or not.
Yeah.
But I'm here, just listen to what I have to say, because a lot of the work, I teach yoga, but it's a lot of just more about mindfulness. So conscious communication, positive affirmations. It's basically about how to create the life we want to live and be successful at it.
Now, are you a believer, and this is something that, again, living in the woods with some hippies and learning a lot of things that I never would have been, had my mind opened up to, the idea of manifest destiny, the idea if I put in good thought into this, if I approach this idea, if you go in and go, this is going to fail, it's got a way better chance of failing.
Sure.
But do you I mean, obviously, I feel like meditating kind of will naturally put you there if you're at you're calm and you're looking at things reasonably. Do you feel like there is you manifested a lot of the goodwill towards you by just kind of being calm and peaceful and approaching it with a positive outlook?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't disregard the struggle, or trauma or pain or suffering, because we're all humans, destined to be in that dark shit. But I think if we really just strive to the success with anything we want to create, success is going to follow. Because now, I'm 4 years into this, self-employed. More schools are coming every day. I'm getting emails, and it's and then I was on Christmas Eve. I was the cover of Pocono Record.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, which was I had no idea
That's
either
so cool.
that was gonna happen. And then I get all these texts, and they're you're on the cover, and I'm what?
That's cool.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was what initially I was oh shit, your shit's really starting to blow up.
Yeah.
And that was what kind of sparked okay, I need to I think I was at work, I was working at the bar, and somebody had a paper, and they were literally sitting there with the paper open reading it, and I'm looking at the cover of the paper just going, and I did one of those things where I just took the paper from the person, and I was hold on a second. They're what? I'm I just need the outside, the front page. I'm I know her, this is crazy, this is and they're it's a local paper. You probably know a lot of people.
Give me the fucking paper back and pour me another drink, asshole.
Yeah. And I did it. I threw it away, and then I kicked them out. That's what I probably did.
Get out of here.
So with doing yoga regularly, what is regular? Are you every day? Are you waking up? Is yoga the first thing you do? Is it stretching and getting yourself just kind of into that Zen mode? And if it's every day, how many times a day? Yeah. Or does it fluctuate?
Yeah, it does fluctuate. I mean, ideally the practice, again, I'm a yoga teacher, I teach yoga, but it's really more about meditation for me. What's so cool, the purpose of yoga is just to get the body, and the nervous system in balance so that the mind can stop chattering.
And I hear it's always a lot about the breathing of it, focusing on your breath. Because, I mean, anybody that's ever looked into a self-help book, it's just a lot of them just kind of go, breathe. Just breathe. Learn how to breathe. And for me, working in the restaurant industry for my entire adult life, it took me a long time to get to the moment where you're in that frenzy and everything's going to shit and you're just fuck. And as a front of house person,
take a step back.
But to be able just to sit there and know, okay, I know that there are 1,000 things that I need to do right now, but I'm not going to get them done, and I'm not going to get them done well if I keep up this mentality,
Right.
and then I just sit there and I'll just like literally like go to the back of house or wherever where nobody that's paying will see me. I just stop and I literally do like a woosah, just like a
Yay!
all right, and I always hear like 4 deep breaths, like will just totally like help you
Immediate.
reset. And
What
I found
about
that
that?
I was like, oh,
Goose.
Yeah. Anger management.
Yeah, whatever you need, right?
yeah,
Like I think that's
pick
so
your
good.
mantra. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, when I was a server, in my server book, I had a picture that said, if you have time to breathe, you have time to meditate. Because inevitably, like, when you're in, like, that Terminator mode, and shit's coming out, and you have, like, you don't have any control. So the kitchen's on fire, you have no control.
Yeah, it's a reactionary
times are
life.
50 minutes.
Yeah, you were total in reaction mode there. Yeah.
So I feel like being a server is what, and like having like a side practice is what created success for me, because I had to like learn to like really process in the moment.
Yeah.
And that also goes for manifestation. Like if you know, like you start that ripple domino effect of like, fuck, the kitchen's burning down.
Yep.
That's how your night's gonna unfold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because especially you're just gonna have that mentality of like, fuck it, like light a match, burn it all down, walk away. Like it's not a good way to live.
Yeah. Or just take a couple deep breaths and then get $100 tip.
Yeah.
I just got some information that I guess the Wallenpaupack School District does meditation and yoga for their elementary as curriculum.
Have you gotten that far up there into the Poconos?
No, I have not. I'm actually in space
Well,
right
you
now.
missed out, apparently.
I mean, I'm plentiful.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I'm actually like calling in a team. I'm writing 2 curriculums.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So are you building people to work below you now and to help build and spread the...
Yeah, to sustain. Because a lot of my work now is calling me into the city, New York City. So, but all of the work that I put in here, and I have so much support, so it's just about really choosing who has the intent for the...
And are you doing the same thing there? You're going to schools?
Yeah, so I'm doing the schools. I'm actually, my work has really evolved to support families.
Okay.
So on the 22nd of February, I'm leading a one-day retreat in the city at this like really cool conscious place called the Assemblage.
Okay.
Where like Deepak Chopra is taught. It's pretty,
yeah,
it's pretty
Jesus.
renowned. I know, it's getting good. But yeah, like
His
really.
daughter married a Jonas.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Big
who
news.
that is?
Yeah. Deepak Chopra's daughter married blank
Not
Jonas.
sure. I guess she's an Indian princess.
Yeah, I don't know if she's a princess, but
Oh, she's
and the way that like a lot of
Yogis.
Jewish American girls will call themselves a Jewish American princess. Maybe she does that, but I'm not sure.
But he's Jewish?
No.
I was
I'm
gonna
saying
say,
in
I was
the
like-
way.
I was like, oh, I'm getting real confused now.
Yes. He's an Indian Jew. I think that's what he is. Yeah. No, he's just another spiritual
I
figure
know
and
who he
leader.
is.
Okay. All right.
I didn't know that was his daughter.
Yeah.
I remember it was like all over the internet for a while. I'm like, who is this woman? I don't know who she is.
Yeah. Like you thought you like missed like 20 movies with somebody in it, or like
Yeah, I was like, she's got to be famous,
a
but I
YouTuber
don't know
maybe,
who she,
some
but I know-
blogger. Yeah. No.
She was born into
She was born into it. She definitely was. Yeah, Deepak Chopra.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, so doing the work and now building the team, what is like your trajectory? What are you thinking is the kind of the goal for your business and like your approach to all of this? Is it to be statewide? Is it to be really just not to use the word influencer the way people use it nowadays, but like a positive influence on curriculum for schools? Because I mean, Richard said it in the chat, and I think everybody that had a childhood that they can remember not being always, even if your family life was fine, just your mental, stability.
Yeah, I mean,
having somebody show you like a shortcut,
just something
almost.
to take home. Because not everybody has somebody to go home to. Like when I would get home from school, I was the only kid on my block. My parents were working; they had the support. So I didn't see anybody. So it was just like, to bring better knowledge from schools is a good thing.
I love it. Yeah,
it definitely is.
And so really, I love the word tools. Like that's what I send the kids home. So and ideally, and when I teach retreats or anything, it's not like I'm the one that knows it all. It's like, here, take these unlimited different types of ways. Because like even creating music is a form of meditation. If you're in that flow state, so it's like really just understanding what serves best, and then go home and do it, and then share it with the community. So the 2 curriculums I'm writing is one specific to support teachers, then bring it into the school day throughout the day, and then the other is a curriculum specific to train adolescents with the tool so that they can mentor and have a ripple effect. I see the work really evolving where now I'm getting opportunities to hold assemblies so I can work with an entire school in one shot, go through an entire day, and then have the people, the team being like to do the after school program, but I'm more supporting an entire school and then the district and then working. I also I work and I train like the nurses, the custodians, the cafeteria workers,
really?
The admin,
That's cool.
The teachers.
That's awesome.
I do staff development, like Pocono Mountain East. I went in August and trained all of their teachers for the entire day. Basically, how to take care of yourself, how to feel healthy and happy. And there's so much positive feedback. Like, I'm telling you, I'm so grateful that I've been on this.
When somebody is giving you not the answer, because that's the problem. People are always looking for the answer to my problems, the way to resolve everything, whether it is in a fucking bottle, whether it's in another person,
cocaine,
or anything like if it's in a
the
drug.
answer.
Like you're looking for the answer. For Zach, it's cocaine.
No, it's not.
Poor Zach.
Up until about 7 years ago, then he stopped and he never touched it. But yeah, the idea. There's this meme that I always think about that somebody put together, and it was all over Facebook one week, and it was, imagine that you're playing a video game. Your life is a video game. And somebody else that is either, taking a different path in that video game or has played the whole video game is able to kind of give you, hints at shit and be like, yo, man, you might want to listen to me. I went through the game already, and this is a good way for you to beat this level.
But as a kid, you always go, fuck you, I know better.
I want to, so that's what
I'm
stops me
13 and I'm
kids.
smarter than everyone else.
Yep.
Right.
No,
But what's
you
so
idiot.
cool, but it's so my approach though is
Dumb 13-year-old.
Well, that's, exactly. And that's a lot of people's experience. But for me, I go in and I look at these kids and I remember what I was feeling. I was suffering.
Yeah.
These kids are suffering.
Yeah.
So them just saying that is really a cry out for help. So I just sit there and I'm patient and I'm present and and I'm literally just sending them love and an understanding this life's fucking tough. And I grew up in trauma, a lot of pain. I had suicidal tendencies. I was extremely overweight. I was suffering so much. And so the fact that I transcended that. Listen to me, my friends. I have the answers, and and they're receptive. And I think, and I go in and I'm pretty real. I'm not I am not glorifying. Yeah, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, you're not trying to make yourself a Christ-like figure. You're going, yo,
it's hard.
Here's the way to follow.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
Yeah,
because you know what? I mean, not everything works for every person. Right. Maybe somebody just has a mental block, and it's just something. Maybe they're just the way that their brain chemistry works, maybe they're not going to be able to get into this, and they're not going to be able to follow the steps that you did, but maybe they're still able to pull an idea from what you threw out at them. And for some people, I find myself thinking of things 15 years later going, oh, this person said this one thing, and it always just kind of stuck in the back of my head. I didn't really know what it meant, and I don't know what they meant, but now I gave it a meaning, and it is helping me learn something or develop something about myself. So you're teaching these kids and the adults, and maybe it's not for you, but you can still be open-minded and find something to take home with you for life. You're giving them, again, the idea of it, calling it a tool. That's what it is.
We should have done a yoga session.
We should have.
Part two.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Yeah,
we're talking about doing coming up some videos outside
of the house.
So where we will go and shoot something. So we can definitely set up a segment where you teach us basic poses.
I would love to teach you guys.
He does have a lot of really good red tight pants.
I got a lot of tight, awesome
Star Wars tights.
And then you guys can, you can give your testimony. How does it feel?
Yeah,
true.
Definitely. I find myself sometimes not knowing. I've looked up when I had lower back pain or something like that. Just found yoga for lower back pain, and so there have been spurts of my life where I've done what I would call very light minor yoga, a 5 or 10 minute thing, 3 or 4 times a week for about a month at a time, and then I'll pull away from it, and you know, life happens, things get in the way, blah blah blah.
Animals and Greek
And, here we go. Here we go. I was waiting for it.
Not yogurt. Yoga.
I was waiting.
I think this is the first.
So long to pull
that is the first one.
Joke.
That is the first. I was betting that I was going to do at least 5 yogurt jokes, and maybe they'll still.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Spaceballs.
It is. That's what it is.
May the
Spaceballs.
Schwartz be with you.
Yogurt.
I love it. It's cool. Yeah.
But yeah. So, what are your plans? Kind of like I was saying before, like for the you're doing the curriculum now, but like in a bullshit interview question type of way, like 5 years from now, what do you hope that this becomes?
Yeah, I really know my purpose is to create a mass shift in like the education system, and I'm partnering with incredible people, especially like in New York, like top influencers who are bringing this like into their entire school.
Hell yeah.
You know, and what's so great about this, it's all like science proven now, and it's a lot of it is like legitimately proven
something
from Harvard.
30 years ago, people are like, "Oh, this hokey bullshit. These
so
fucking
now,
long-haired hippie types."
Exactly, and now it's come full circle.
Flowers and whatnot. Come on,
exactly. And so,
cool. Awesome.
I just see me having access to travel and do like big, massive work, and just working with thousands of people in a space.
Awesome.
We better get some VIP tickets.
Well, yeah, I remember it. I feel it, and it's cool because it's like the opportunities just keep coming and they keep becoming bigger and better. But it's really like I'm moving from my intention of like really that it has nothing to do with me or fame or success. It has to do with being with a child and seeing something click, and now they feel safe and comfortable, and that to me is abundance.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, Amy, I want to say thank you so much for coming on and letting us, pick your brain.
Yeah,
and
cool.
we are definitely going to make one of our first outside the houseboat adventures be you teaching us how to do it.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be funny at least. I'll say that. Sure. It'll be funny at least. All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything coming up that you want to let the public that might be listening know? People with kids, anything like that?
Yeah. Just stay tuned with Shawnee. I just partnered with Shawnee. We just planned 9 retreats starting from March through September.
All right.
So every month we'll be doing a retreat, weekly classes, and then likely I'll be in the school doing the work.
Very awesome.
And they get the information from Shawnee?
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's all like this is brand new, but
so just look up Shawnee and then do you want to plug your social media for anything?
Yes, Amy Lee Flower.
Amy Lee Flower on Instagram. You can check her out there. Again, thank you so much for joining us. It was really awesome to catch up.